Well, hello. Yeah, here we go. Another video. Welcome back. And I started with this record because I ended with it on the last video, but I didn't really have time to talk about it. And it's a test record, and I need to spend a little time on this record here. This is the Shure trackability test record for stereo cartridges. Audio obstacle course. This was made by the Shure Brothers Inc. In 1973. And it's got a whole bunch of stuff on the back. Describes what goes on here for general and technical information. Now, side 1's an introduction. Side 2, level, balance, phasing tests. And it tells you what to listen for to make sure the level's proper, your balance is proper, and your phase is proper. Because how do you know if you don't have your speaker wires marked properly and you put up the terminals wrong, it's going to be out of phase, and you're going to say, my stereo kind of sounds off, but I don't know why. What's going on? You got a record like this, you'd be able to tell. Okay. Band 3, musical bells tests. Musical bells, generally speaking, result in one of the most severe high-frequency trackability tests we have ever found. And what they have is they have the first part is the bells with low intensity. Then it goes bells higher intensity. Then it goes bells more intensity. It goes like 3 or 4. And you should be able to track the first one. Can you track the second? Can you track the third? Find out how good your cartridge tracks. Then it's got a semblance test. That's another trackability test. And it tells you what semblance is and how to listen for it. Bass drum. It tells you about how bass drum's supposed to sound. What to listen for. If your cartridge isn't tracking properly, how does that sound? And it's also got in here about violins. Violin mistracking is difficult to describe. And it tells you how it sounds, what the mistracking violin sounds like, and what to listen for. So, a record like this is very valuable. Now, I was lucky. I bought it, the price tag's still on here, $5. I bought it used Into the Music in Winnipeg probably 25, 30 years ago. I bought this record. So, yeah, good luck finding it for $5 today, but back in the 80s, people didn't want records anymore, especially a test record. Who's buying that? Me. Okay, now this is going to be welcome to the 80s, and of course the 90s and whatever else is in there. This is what's not the 70s. Okay, we've got the B-52s, silver label. Yeah, this is the only silver label that I have. I had an original press, Canadian pressing. And I compared both of them, and I thought this one had a tad more bass on it. They were very close, but this is the only silver label that I currently own, and it's brand new. It's a nice package, silver label, 2237. And then we've got Cosmic Thing. Now, I was looking at these. One of the things all these 80s, 90s records all share, there's no gatefolds anymore. Sorry, folks. For some reason, record companies couldn't make money making gatefolds. And they vary on the thicknesses, of course, on the records. But they usually have a colored insert. Most of these 80s records, 90s records are going to have that. And another thing they share in common, the labels all have these kind of picture label type things now. The labels that we all used to love, Columbia and Epic and everything, they don't have that anymore. You know what I mean. You've got these records. So that's what I got. And I'm not going to try to spend too much time on all this stuff. We're just going to go through what records do I have from the 80s, 90s and such. Here we go. Got some B-52s. Red Rider. This is a Japanese press. Red Rider Neruda. This is a Canadian band. And Red Rider is a really good group. If you haven't not familiar, Here it is. It's on that capital label. If you're not familiar with Red Rider, Neruda, have a little listen to this record. I think you'll like it. It's really good. And we've got Robbie Robinson. This is on Giffen Records. It's an original. And this is just self-titled Robbie Robinson. Plan B, Greenhouse Effect. This is a 1990 BMG, New York. This is a USA press from 1990. Plan B, Greenhouse Effect, on the RCA label. Good record. Maybe you're familiar, maybe you're not. Now we got some, what's this? 9-inch nails. Down in It. This is a 12-inch off there. We'll put the record up first. Here we go. Pretty Hate Machine. This is an original. You know, they've been reissued on 180 gram and all that. I've been tempted to buy it, but I just still have my original 9-inch nail. When it came out, I bought the record. And I have bought some of these other records and have made, I sold them and made some pretty good money on some of these pressings I had. But I've got this one. It's my original 9-inch nail press. Then this is a 12-inch Down in It. That's off that record. Down in It skin, shred, Down in It single. And then another 9-inch nails, Halo 4, Sin Long, Sin Dub, Get Down, Make Love, Sin Short. This is off Pretty Hate Machine again, 12-inch. And we got some Lenny Kravitz, Let Love Rule. From 80, 89 it looks like. Lenny Kravitz, Let Love Rule. The Balancing Act. This is IRS, Canadian Press, from 88. The Balancing Act. So you've got a little punch hole in the bottom. Brodsky Beat. Hundreds and Thousands. And Age of Consent. Yeah, I've got a Japanese press of this one. I really like this record. They've got a lot of really good songs on here. Good record, I really like it. It's on a White London label. Nice record. The Proclaimers. Sunshine on Leith. Here they are, the Proclaimers, 1988. Canadian Press. Tanita Tinkarum. This is Ancient Heart. A Twist in My Sobriety. Yeah, you want to have a semblance check? This gal here, she twists her S's a lot on here. And there's a lot of good songs on here. Like that record. Good one. Boot Sauce. What in the world is Boot Sauce? They're a Canadian band from Montreal, and this is a first edition Canadian press that I bought. You don't see many records with a plastic outer sleeve like this. Comes on the record. There's the record. And here's the label. Not much of a label. Let's look at the outside of it. And this is a great record, by the way. Really, really like this record. Back cover. Put her back in the plastic sleeve it comes in. And here we go. Produced by the Fudge Brothers, Brave Entertainment, Jet Lag Inc., 1990 Polygram. Boot Sauce. Here's another Boot Sauce. This is a 12-inch off of that record. album version, scratching the dub, club sauce, dope sauce, 1990 polygram. Really good. Sounds great. These records sound great. They do. Then we've got a little Devo. 11 digital cartoons from the De-Evolution Band. And this has got disco. What is it called? Disco Dancer. Yeah. I'm a disco dancer, baby. Yeah. Y'all know that record? You know that song by Devo? Disco Dancer? If you don't, yeah, put it on. Crazy song. Love it. Delight. World. There they are. Good record. Fun record. Delight. Okay, The Cure, Disintegration. You know, I had about 5 or 6 Cure records, and on the last purge, I got rid of them. I kept this. I figured it'd be enough. And you know, when I go to put on, let's say Pandora, and I'm listening to whatever band, they don't hardly ever play that band, but they'll play a lot of Cure and a lot of 80's, and I'm saying, wow, I need to buy those records back because there's a lot of good songs on there that I really missed that I should have never got rid of them records. Cure's great. I love the Cure. Circus of Power. This is another BMG RCA. You know, I haven't listened to a lot of these records for a while, but they've all made all the purges. And if I'm showing these records, it's because I really like them. Now, I'm sorry I can't describe the music, but it's good rock and roll music, let's just say. Great record. Of course, everybody knows Tracy Chapman. Good record. Then we've got some Canadian stuff here. Bruce Cockburn. World of Wonders, Bruce Cockburn. And I thought I had another one of these. No, I guess not. Frankie Goes to Hollywood, The Pleasure Dome. This is an original Canadian pressing. And I bought because this record's got some really good sound on it. And I bought a Japanese press, thinking, wow, I'm going to step it up, you know. No. I don't know what, you know, they wouldn't have reissued this record. It was over 10 years ago when I bought that Japanese press. But this Canadian first edition sounds a lot better than the Japanese press. Good sounding record. And then I bought this as a Japanese press. How to Remake the World, Welcome to the Pleasure Dome. And it's a 12-inch off that. Frontline Assembly. Wax Trax Records. Chicago. From Third Mind Records. It's kind of electronic music. Frontline Assembly, Corrosion. Simple Minds. Here's a picture disc. And this is Once Upon a Time. Sanctify Yourself. I love that song. It's on here and it sounds great. It does. On this record here. Simple Minds. Some more Simple Minds. Sanctify Yourself. This is a 12-inch. Sanctify Yourself dub version, especially remix version. Now, Simply Red. Picture book. If y'all don't know this record right here, This is a fantastically recorded record, an analog recorded record. This is great. If you don't know, that's why went out and got me a Japanese sound version of it, because it's just one of those records. Sad Old Red on here, upright bass, you know, the singing, drums, trumpet, all that stuff's on here. Listen to that. Wow. Great record. More Simply Red, Men and Women, another good record of theirs. Nick Hafner, The Great Outdoors. This is a UK press. I don't see the year on it, but you know, 80's record. Good record. Got a little Steve Earle coming up. And I just listened to this about a month or two ago. And of course I don't remember what it sounded like again, listening to so much stuff. Good record. Nick Hafner, The Great Outdoors. Steve Earle, Copperhead Road. Good record. From 88, Uni Records. Look, digital. That's why it sounds so good. Love and Rockets, Seventh Dream of a Teenage Heaven. And look at this, we got a gatefold. One of those digipack gatefolds. But it goes the gatefold. Love and Rockets, Seventh Dream of Teenage Heaven. And very, very small script on here. Express, Love and Rockets. Love and Rockets. Good stuff. This LP for the price of a 12-inch single. Love and Rockets. There's some good songs on this record. You're all familiar with it. So Alive, right. Rock and Roll Babylon, No Words, More Love. Good record. Then we have Mad Professor, Science and the Witch Doctor, Dub Me Crazy Parts. This is in 1989, and it's kind of a reggae. Science and the Witch Doctor. Good record. John Cougar, Scarecrow, got him on a Japanese. This is one of his newer records. I think this is 2010 or something. Actually, my cousin in Canada sent me this record. They both went to his show, and this was part of the buying of the ticket, and they kept one and they sent me one. Nice folks. That's a Robert and Barb sent me this record. Really nice. And Men at Work. Got a little Men at Work. And that Miami Vice soundtrack. If you remember that movie Miami Vice, they always played great music in the background. So I picked up that record. Of course, I haven't listened to it probably in 20 years or whatever. And then we've got some Midnight Oil. Really good band. Blue Sky Mining. Diesel and Dust. Now here we go. This is a rare gatefold. And this is really good. Beds Are Burning on here. This is a manufactured by CBS Records Canada in 1987. And Kim Mitchell. Rockland. Good record. Kim Mitchell, Canadian press. And we've got a little MOEV. Yeah, whatever. This is some of that new age type of music, electronic type stuff. And that's it for the video, and thanks for watching.